Hey guys, happy Sunday evening. Hope all is well in your world. It is all well here at Enough Said Sports. Want to talk to you about a matchup that's going to be coming up on Tuesday, June 15th. It's after the game earlier today. It's the Milwaukee Bucks traveling back to play the Brooklyn Nets as the series shifts back to Brooklyn on Tuesday. The time has not yet been released because the results of the Phoenix and Denver series has not happened yet here in Game 4. So depending on how that ends up turning out is going to going to dictate the start time here of this game. It may end up being on a solo stage versus being sharing a stage with Phoenix and Denver if there is a Game 5 in that series. I have a lot of thoughts on this particular series, and I want to first preface my comments before I talk about Game 4 with, obviously, like I've said in previous videos, I don't like criticizing athletes too much because I know how hard it is for those guys to do what they do. I didn't quite get it done my own self as far as becoming a professional athlete. Didn't make it, but I understand it because I've got pretty close to making it. So I understand what it takes and the preparation it takes to play a professional sport on this type of a level. Now, with that being said, I'm going to have to be really honest, though, and really brutally honest with what I saw today there in Game 4 in this series. Obviously, the Bucks ended up winning this game. Kudos to them for taking advantage of the opportunity that was presented before them and capitalizing. They played well. They got it done. They played well defensively. They played well offensively. This is the best offensive performance they've had. Obviously, the big story in this game was Kyrie Irving going out with an ankle injury, unfortunately. Looks like he sprained it pretty bad, based on what I saw there. So I don't like his chances of being able to play in the next game. I don't like his chances of being able to play in the foreseeable future. I believe James Harden is going to be on the shelf as well for the next little bit still. I don't think he's close to returning. I think if he comes back, he could probably be at risk to re-injure that hamstring. His hamstrings are very, very tricky injuries and very hard to come back from if you're not 100% healthy. So I have a bone to pick with one Kevin Durant, the one they call KD. I'm going to preface this by saying I'm a Warriors fan, for those of you who don't know. Huge Steph Curry fan, been a Steph Curry fan since his days at Davidson. Fell in love with him in the run that they had in the tournament. And so been following him ever since, and all the way, as when he got drafted by the Golden State Warriors as a rookie and all of that stuff. So been with him the whole time, watched Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, all those guys come up. And been a fan with them. So I've missed very, very few Warriors games over the past, 8 to 9 years. So definitely a huge fan of them. And so that's why this is a particularly touchy subject for me. When Kevin Durant came on board and joined the 72 and 9, or 73 and 9, Golden State Warriors, and they went on to win back-to-back championships. Probably should have had a third had injuries not intervened. They definitely would have, I believe, beaten the Toronto Raptors in the finals had Klay Thompson not gone down and KD had not gone down. Certainly think they would have won it had Klay Thompson stayed healthy, even without KD. Obviously would have taken 7 games, but I think they would have gotten it done. With all that being said, I've sat around and I've heard Steph slander for years. I've heard how Kevin Durant came in and saved his legacy, and he's a lot better player, and the Warriors wouldn't be what the Warriors were without KD, and KD's the greatest player, and he's the best player in the world. He's so much better than Steph Curry, and yada, yada, yada. Now, I can tell you, I take personal offense to that. I don't know how Steph feels. You probably won't ever know how he really feels about it because he probably isn't going to ever admit publicly how he feels about it because that's just beneath his class and dignity there. So you'll never hear it from him, so I'll speak for him. KD was in the league. Okay, I don't have the exact figures in front of me right now, but I know he was in the league at least for 9 seasons with the Oklahoma City Thunders. First, obviously, the Seattle Supersonics. And I watched and observed him closely over the years, okay? And all I heard when he got to Golden State is how great he was. But he was in the league, guys, I know, for at least 9 years, I think 10 actually. And he didn't win anything. Okay. As a matter of fact, he was up 3-1 on the same Golden State Warriors team, and Stephen Clay came back and beat the wonderful and great Kevin Durant. Okay. He got to one finals appearance, lasted 5 games. He had Russell Westbrook and James Harden on that team. This guy today, okay, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Because I promise you, if Steph Curry would have been on this team and Kyrie Irving goes down, with the cast of characters that you have, Joe Harris, Blake Griffin, the list goes on and on and on. The cast of characters that you have, Steph Curry's getting this game home today. Okay? I don't want to hear anything else about Kevin Durant being the best player in the world, because the performance he put forth today was absolutely disgusting. And it did not look like somebody that was the best player in the world. It looked like somebody that needs superstars around him in order to win anything. That's what it looks like to me. I'm not saying Kevin Durant is not a good player. He's a very good player. He's a great player. He's outstanding. I'm not saying any of that. But all of this best player in the world stuff and all of this, he's better than this guy and better than that guy. By the way, I'm not a LeBron James fan, but LeBron James is better than Kevin Durant. I'm sorry. He is. All right. The reality of it is that what he did today, they were down by 2 points when Kyrie Irving goes out of this basketball game. And the so-called best player in the world goes 1 for 8 from downtown. All right. Shoots the ball 25 times. 9 for 25 with 28 points. And this is supposed to be the best player in the world. This guy right here, with all that supporting cast that he has around him, all of that, everything else that he has around him, you get blown off the floor by a Milwaukee Bucks team that, in reality, you should have beaten Game 3. This is why you don't mess around with teams, okay? This is the frustrating part of watching teams like the Brooklyn Nets, and also I'm going to include the LA Clippers in this. This is why you don't mess around, okay? If they would have came out in Game 3 with some urgency and played like they had any kind of want to and actually won the game, they would have been up 3-0 right now. And you know what? If they lose today, big deal, you're 3-1. I promise you, they're in serious trouble here, okay? Because Kevin Durant ain't it. And that performance today was inexcusable. Look at what Steph Curry had to play with this year in Golden State, okay, compared to what the supporting cast is in Brooklyn, even without Kyrie and James Harden on the floor. You just look and see to compare the players on that. And you tell me, after you go down that roster, how many of those guys on the Golden State Warriors are probably G Leaguers versus the Brooklyn Nets, who have a bunch of really, really good role players, really outstanding NBA players on that team. And with KD, they should have at least been able to get this game a lot closer than they were. This was embarrassing. And I don't want to hear anything else about Kevin Durant being the best player in the world. Today's performance told me everything I need to know about him. Okay, he's got to have 2 other major superstars on his team to have any chance of winning anything, because last time I checked, Steph and Clay, they're the 2 greatest shooters to ever live, and that's what it took for him to win a championship. Skip Bayless, the others talking about, there's a lot of pundits out there along with Skip Bayless driving the bandwagon about how great Kevin Durant is and how much better he is than Steph and all of this stuff. He's not. All right, I don't want to hear anything else about it. Case closed. Today was an absolute example of how much of a bum he plays like when the chips are on the table and it's on his shoulders and his shoulders alone. This is exactly the same type of performances that I saw in OKC whenever the games were on the line. He want to point the finger at Russell Westbrook. You want to talk about how Russell Westbrook don't pass you the ball. You want to talk all this trash about Russell Westbrook. Well, at least Russell Westbrook has the guts to take the shot. At least Russell Westbrook, he doesn't have the talent that you have, but at least he has the guts. You don't have them, because today was absolutely inexcusable. And it's not even about us losing a bet. All right, it's not about that. look, I understand Kyrie goes down. I get it. You lose the game. I knew at that point the over wasn't going to happen because you just don't have the offensive firepower on the floor probably to push the game over. I get all of that. The Milwaukee Bucks are going to let the air out of the ball as well. They should slow the pace of the game down because that now they don't have that to deal with. It's not about that. It's about the embarrassment of putting what you put on the floor. I don't want to hear anything else about it, guys. I'm just telling you. If anybody wants to talk to me about it, hey, let me know in the comments. Let me know why I'm wrong about the fact that KD, whenever it's time, he's not there. Okay, it's easy to sit up there and hit a clutch shot in LeBron James' face whenever you got Stephen Clay on the other side of the court backing you up. All right, it's really easy to win a championship when they're trapping Steph Curry at half court, even though you're on the floor and you're getting wide open shots. It's easy to do that. Okay, right now, I'm just so disgusted with this Brooklyn Nets team. I'm mostly disgusted with Kevin Durant after the performance he put on the floor today. Now, fast forward into Game 4. It's really early. These lines are probably subject to change. I will update this in the comments if it changes. But the very, very early line is Milwaukee is a 3.5-point favorite because I think Vegas is anticipating Kyrie Irving and James Harden not being there. I'm taking the Bucks. All right, the Bucks are going to win this series at this point because Kevin Durant is not the best player in the world. All right, that is the bottom line because he's got enough. If he's that guy, he's got enough on his team right now to win this series, but he ain't that guy. So I got the Milwaukee Bucks covering this 3.5 points. If it goes to 4, I still got Milwaukee, and I got them going under 223.5 is what it's sitting at right now. Obviously, that's subject to change. This is a very early line, but it is just it's crazy. How, series can turn. And this is why you don't mess around in the NBA, guys. This is the reason. These other teams that are still playing, Phoenix tonight, you better make sure you take care of business against these Denver Nuggets tonight because if something happens and Devin Booker turns an ankle or somebody goes down, you're going to have a major problem. All right, so these teams that are out here, they need to understand you can't go in lackadaisical and mess around with these teams because now you're in a situation. I think Milwaukee wins this series in 6 at this point. I originally picked Milwaukee to win this game and win this series in 6. I really didn't think that would happen after watching the first 2 games. Still didn't think it would happen after watching the first 3 games. But now that Kyrie is out, James Harden probably ain't coming back. This is a problem. So I got that's what I got, guys. Let me know in the comments. Just to recap, Milwaukee minus 3.5. Jump all over it and stay under 223.5 because there's just not going to be enough firepower for the Brooklyn Nets to be able to score enough, I don't think, to push the game over. So that's what I got, guys. Let me know in the comments what you think. Really appreciate all the support. This one is a little bit of a longer video because I'm really annoyed. I can tell you that right now. So let me know what you think. Let me know if you're just as aggravated as I am. And we'll go from there, guys. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. And hopefully our other half of our bet tonight will go through. We got Phoenix tonight, minus 3.5, and then we got the over in that game. So hopefully that'll pan out for us. I feel pretty good about that working out. So we'll see. But anyway, guys, thanks so much for all your support again, and I will talk to you really soon.